So when I first started skating, I was 21, and I didn't really know how to roller skate at all when I first put them on. So I started playing derby, and we started with the new league. So we all kind of were learning together. So I didn't really feel any insecurities when I first started learning to skate, just because I was in a group that we were all learning together. So it was like a really safe space feeling, and I felt very confident. Like I felt empowered being around such a big group of women, and having this new tool to be, I just felt really cool, I guess you can say. So I didn't really start feeling insecure until I started going to the skate park and seeing people that I would like. We all started at the same kind of level, and then they started progressing, and I feel like I'm very fearful. So that is a big mental blockage for me when I go to try new things. That it keeps me back from trying those things. So when I see these people who are less fearful than me accelerating and trying these things and progressing, it kind of makes me feel bad. Like, well, like, why am I not doing that? Well, I'm not trying as hard because I have that mental blockage, but I'm not just like, it puts me in this like weird spot where it overpowers me a lot of the times. So I felt like I feel like that was like my um, beginning of my insecurities with skating. And it really came about to me when we were on that road trip across the Midwest, with the team. We were at Rydell doing this like series thing on the factory, and everyone was jumping out, like doing a trick outside the door. And I'm kind of like, here I am. Like, I don't know. I don't really have like a cool thing to show you, or like, I always felt like I don't have that cool thing, but that's Enzo kind of brought it back to me like, well, what is it about it that makes it fun for you? And it's not about like, look at me, look at this trick, look at all these things I can do. It's kind of just the feeling that I have on wheels that makes me joyous and happy. And so it really took that to realize that, to gain the confidence to be like, this is actually what I enjoy about roller skating the most. And when I was able to understand that and realize that, is when I became the most confident, because I know that's what makes me happy. And I'm just going to focus in on that thing that makes me the most happy, because then I'm going to shine, rather than stressing out about a trick, or I'm not as good as so and so, and I can't do that, and I'm scared. Like all the negative things that are just going to hold me back, just focus on those brighter things. And that's what really made me confident. So, yeah.
I think a lot of people that are in the chat and in roller skating can relate to that, because there's so many more beginners than there are uh, people that really know what space they love the most. And there's so many ways to use skating. Like you can use it indoors at the roller rink, which is a completely different scene. You can go to the skate park or to a backyard party or an invite only party that not everyone else is invited to, and that'll bring on a whole other like wave of feelings. And then there's posting about those parties that not everybody else was invited to. And there's like skate parking and backyard places, and then there's just skating out in the street in public in front of people that aren't in the skating community at all. And so there's a lot of different space, like places that we take up space as roller skaters, because they really are just like a more convenient shoe, more convenient way to get around. And there's all these little subcultures that I think Moxi skaters are reaching. Like they're not just skate park skaters, they're roller rink skaters, they're outdoor skaters, and all of those places already had either history or roots to them. And entering those places will bring on personal feelings, but it's also going to leave an imprint or a change on the community. And those feelings and changes are really important to be honest and talk about and share experiences and give tips and advice to people that may be listening to this conversation, so that we can respect those spaces and those histories and communities. Because the roller skating boom is, it's not even hit its peak. Like when you compare other industries, we're only we're only growing, and we want to make a positive influence on the communities that exist. We don't want to take space or dominate or make room for ourselves. We want to respect and like enter these spaces with respect and loving kindness and share. And I think, yeah, that is maybe the inspiration behind this conversation.